Today, I would like us to talk about the anchors, why we need them, and why they are helpful. When we try to make change in our life, our day-to-day life can get in the way. We can start forgetting to do something, we can start forgetting to pay attention to what we wanted in the first place, and many other things can happen along the way. But what is important to understand is that we have a lot of tools that can help us. Anchoring is one of those. What I mean by anchoring? Anchoring can be done in several ways. One of the ways to make anchoring is by make an physical anchor, meaning you choose a physical object that will represent your intention or something that will remind you of what you're working on right now. For example, this kind of bracelet. And exactly this one, I kind of saw the vision of it during the meditation and I created it for myself. In the past, I had experience when I am not a big like jewelry person, but I had this inner calling, persistent inner calling to buy a specific bracelet with a lotus on it. And after like few weeks of consistent calling to get that bracelet, I choose it and it get a beautiful reminder to be more mindful, to practice more of yoga, mindfulness, all that stuff. Anchors can be something like this, like small shells, small rocks. This one from one of the retreats, it was like just little clip with the work that we wrote down. It can be picture, it can be even picture on your phone screen is a great way to use anchoring and reminders, because how many times a day you open up your phone? Quite a few. So every time you will look there, you will remember what you're focusing on, what you're working on, and where to pay your attention. And we can have this concern that what if I will forget what is this anchor is about? What if I will forget what the intention was behind it? We need to understand that our subconscious is a powerful tool. And though we consciously can forget what we set intention for, if we set it correctly, our subconscious will hold this message for us. And on a deep underlying level, we will still remember, we will still recall what was happening there and why we set this intention. One of the ways is pictures. Like you see this big picture on the wall. I had in past smaller ones. This is also a beautiful way to connect your intention with expressions. And I have on the YouTube channel the whole workshop about how we did that anchor. But basically, you set an intention. You can use a usual pencil and write it down on the canvas and paint over it. And it can be a great reminder for you that only you will know what's hiding there, but you will still recall what was the intention behind it. Anchors can be also done in terms of physical touch points on our body. Usually, those anchors are used to trigger certain emotions. But for example, if you're working on feeling the certain way or making sure that you stepping into higher vibrations, you can use it in your favor. How it's done is you deliberately make yourself feel the way that you want to anchor, and you press a specific point on your body in the peak state that usually you do not touch over their life. You can repeat this process few times, and during the days when you feel this way, you can also press this point for you. And over the time, when you will press this point, you will start feeling that emotion. We can program ourselves to use certain press points to different situations in life. And many politics, many great speakers use this. We just do not notice them because they choose points that are not that obvious. And for example, one of Obama's was a touch point on his ear. Oftentimes it's something like that, something like small, sudden, that not most people will pay attention to, but you know what it is. So anchor can be done on your physical body. Anchor can be done for aroma. You can use essential oil, for example. Set the intention and train the same way yourself that this aroma is following your intention. It can be color, it can be sound, it can be taste, like it can be anything that will trigger your sensation. So far we looked at three types of anchoring. It's physical objects, it's sensations, and it's touch points on our body. Why we want to use it? Except that we discussed that they help us to stay in remembering of what we're focusing on, what we're working on. They also help us move forward and take actions. What I mean by that? Sometimes when we work on non-physical things like shifting limiting beliefs or something like that, we can feel like we do not do anything. And most of us have this programming that we need to work hard, we need to do something, and it can be one of the ways of doing that. Also, it just a great reminder throughout the day to come back to that, to remember what we're focusing on and not to forget. So how to use it? First of all, place them somewhere where you will be noticing and seeing them throughout the day. It can be in your car, on your fridge. If it's jewelry, it's always on you. If it's like smells, maybe put in some diffuser in your room or something like that. Like place them somewhere that you will see it multiple times throughout the day. It will help you to anchor it even more. Oftentimes I hear the question like, okay, how long should I use it? How long should I see it? How long I should wear it? And so on and so forth. It's totally up to you. Sometimes you need anchor just for a couple of days. Sometimes it can be weeks. Some intentions, like in the workshop, creating intention for the year. And so it can change throughout the time, and you can just trust your intuition. And once you start using this tool, you will know how long you should use it, how to use it, and you will become in remembrance. And like, it's not something new. And I want you to understand that this is not something new. It's not something that was invented recently or by me. It's something that humanity used for generations and generations, decades, centuries. It was totems, it was ritual dances, ritual herbs, it was painting on caves. Like, there's so many representation of anchoring in our history, but we usually do not think of them in that way. But it's the similar to that. It's natural way for us to anchor that. Also, I usually have the question like, how many at one time I can use them. It's totally up to you. If you need only one reminder, great, do it. If you want to diverse it, awesome. If you have several different intentions, perfect. Do whatever you want to do. It's a tool, it's not a recipe, it's not a medical prescription, it's a tool. How you use it, it's totally up to you. From my personal experience, I have quite a few. Some of them stays just a reminder, and I rarely look at them or think about what they represent. But as I said, our subconscious knows. Some I change throughout the time. For example, this one is literally, I created it yesterday, and I felt like I need a bit of stronger reminder of what it represents for me. So I made this bracelet and I made a company charm that I had in my car to make it even stronger of a reminder of where I'm moving forward, because this one is pretty important for me and pretty big, I would say. But we can have some small ones that stay quietly and we will notice them when we feel that we need to. So let's summarize what we've talked so far today about. We use anchors to help us remind of what we're focusing on, stay in focus, and stay on track with what we want to achieve, what we want to do, what we want to change. We can have them in terms of physical objects, in terms of something that triggers our sensations, in terms of something that will be a touch point on your body. How to use it? Physical objects. Just choose, pick, create, and set an intention for that. The same with something that triggers your sensations. And with the touch points, feel the emotion that you want to feel and press it in a peak, repeat a few times, and then you can use it and build even stronger reaction of your body to that trigger. Why to use it? To help us move forward. For whom? For everyone. There is no limit for how much, how long, and so on and so forth. It's totally up to you. It's a powerful tool. And once you start using it, you will know what works for you, in which form works best, and so on and so forth. I will link to this video and put in description link to the workshop on setting the intention. And if you feel drawn to, make it, create your art pieces and share with me. I would love to see them and see any anchors that you create. Remember, you are all chosen to be happy. Time to claim it.